Today, we're going to be talking about this jacket right here, and this is the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. This is the #2 version. This is a very well-known jacket within the backpacking community, and if you've been doing your research on possibly purchasing a new ultralight down jacket, then this jacket has probably made it onto your short list of final candidates. In this video, we're going to go over all the main features. I'm going to touch on some of what I think are the pros and cons of this jacket. And at the end, I'll give my own personal opinions on who I think should purchase this jacket and who I think should maybe consider other options. I've had this jacket for 2 years now. I've had it in many different climate conditions for 3 seasons, pretty warm, and all the way down into winter, 20 degrees and below. And I believe that that gives me a good base of knowledge to speak confidently about this jacket. And before we get too far into this video, I just want to put it out there that I bought this jacket with my own money, and any opinions that I express in this video are 100% my own unbiased opinions that I'm putting out there so that you can make the best buying decisions for your own circumstances. This jacket is offered in a hooded, a non-hooded, and also a vest option. I went with the non-hooded version here. It is offered in sizes from small to 2XL, and it comes in 5 different colors. The color that I decided to go with here is called Darkest Dawn, but I do believe that since I purchased this jacket, they changed the name of some of the colors, and it's now called Washed Raisin. The jacket itself is constructed from a 10D ripstop nylon, and if you look very closely at the material, you can see the ripstop patterning on here. And the 10D is a very lightweight material, and they chose that in order to shave as much weight as possible from this jacket. This jacket comes filled with an 800 fill power RDS certified goose down insulation, which is 90% down and 10% feathers. And it also comes treated with a DWR coating, which is a durable water repellent, which helps resist some light precipitation, but you definitely don't want to allow this jacket to become fully saturated. And they really do put a lot of down in this jacket. If you hold it up to a light, you can see all the down filled in the baffles here. Definitely a good amount of down. And don't quote me on this, but I think it's 3 ounces. Could be wrong with that. But if you look inside here, there's definitely a lot of down filled in this jacket. Moving down the front of the jacket here, you get a YKK #3 zipper running the front length of the jacket. And I've had no issues with this zipper. It has never snagged on me, and it's worked very well for me. Moving down the front here on the sides, you get 2 nice hand pockets here. Good size. Definitely fit your hands deep down in here, keep them warm. There's enough room in there that you can fit a nice pair of merino wool gloves like these in there with room to spare. So good on the room, and keep your hands pretty warm also. On the sides, they zip fully up, and they come with YKK #3 zippers also, and pulls. And I forgot to mention the front zipper here also has a nice pull on it. On the right hand pocket here, on the inside, you have a loop for attaching some keys, and you also have a pull on the inside here, because this right hand jacket pocket is the pocket that you're going to use to put the jacket into itself. If you want to stow it that way, the jacket can be compressed into itself, and this pull here on the outside will help you zipper that closed. And a word of caution, if you're going to do that, be very careful. The first time I got this jacket, I tried to do that, and I got the jacket caught in the zipper, and I almost think that I was about to rip the jacket because of the lightweight material that it's made out of. So definitely be very careful when you're stuffing this jacket into itself and then trying to get the zipper closed. Coming down the sleeves here on the side, around the wrists, you get an elastic band, so no Velcro or anything like that to really cinch this down. But I do feel like it does an adequate job of stopping drafts from coming up from the sleeves, and it also leaves you enough room here to put 1 to 2 extra layers underneath it here if you're using this for a layering system. Coming down around the waist here, you get a draw cord running around the whole length of the jacket here, which I believe is a very important feature. It allows you to cinch this down, get it tight around your waist here, prevent drafts from coming up from underneath. And I just did want to point out that the cord lock that they use on here is actually inside of the jacket down at the bottom. You can't actually get to it, which when I first got this jacket, I thought that that was a little bit of a weird design, but it hasn't been a problem. It's worked the way it's supposed to, so hey, that's just the way they made it, but I did want to point that out. As for the logoing on this jacket, on the left chest area here, you get a Mountain Hardwear nut logo. You also get another one of those logos down here on the right side, and on your left sleeve right here, you get one more Mountain Hardwear logo. So nothing over the top with the logoing, and that's something that I can definitely appreciate. Nothing over the top, a few logos, I'm definitely okay with that. For the fit and sizing of this jacket, Mountain Hardwear says that it runs true to size. Now I'm 5'11", 185 pounds, and that can fluctuate up or down 10 pounds at any given time. I'm sure that some of you out there can relate with that. Just about every piece of clothing that I own, I have in the size extra large, from sweatshirts, jackets, and t-shirts. So I started out ordering the extra large size, and when I got that in, it was definitely too large. Not necessarily lengthwise, too far going down, but on the sleeves were definitely too long, and it was just too baggy around the side. It definitely did not fit right. So I sent back the extra large, ended up going with the large size, got that in, and I feel that the size large is the perfect size for me. Fits extremely well. The arm length is really good lengthwise, and I think the fit and cut is really good. You know, I can move around really well in this jacket. As you can see, turn around here, do some jumping jacks, hike around a little bit. Fits really good. The weight on this jacket, when I weighed it on my scale at home, came to 8.4 ounces. So once again, very lightweight jacket. And the full retail price on this jacket is $300, so definitely not cheap at all. And I want to touch on that a little bit later in this video. Now I'm going to move into the pros and cons of this jacket. The first pro, it has to be the weight. If you're looking into this jacket, probably one of the biggest reasons you're looking at this jacket is for the weight. It is one of the lightest weight down jackets that you can get. I know that there's a few other jackets out there that come in lighter than this one, but this jacket is extremely light and it's not going to add too much weight to your pack. The second pro for this jacket is the packability. Because of that high quality 800 fill power goose down they put inside of here, you're able to compress this jacket down into a very small ball. Whether you want to put it inside that jacket pocket here like I showed you earlier in the video, what I like to do is to stuff it down into the bottom of my pack in a pack liner with my quilts and hammock, and anything else that I want to make sure doesn't get wet in my pack. I just compress that all down in the bottom of the pack, squeeze out all the air, and it takes up very little space in my pack. Pro number 3 is going to be the build quality. If you're paying up that premium price to get this jacket, you want to know that you're going to be getting a premium product, and I believe that Mountain Hardwear delivers with this. Every seam stitch on this jacket that I could find has been in place. Nothing has come out. Have really had no durability issues with this jacket. All that being said, this is an ultralight down jacket and you need to treat it as such. You can't just go, you know, bushwhacking with this jacket and expect it to hold up. But if you treat it right, I believe that you're going to be getting a quality piece of gear here with this jacket. Now moving on to the cons, and con number 1 for me, it definitely has to be the price. At a hefty $300 price tag full retail for this jacket, that's a lot to shell out for a down jacket. And my advice to you is definitely don't pay full retail for this jacket. Wait for sales. I got mine direct from Mountain Hardwear on closeout for 50% off. So around $150 for this jacket is a much more reasonable price to pay, in my opinion. You can also check around on the backpacking outlet sites such as Backcountry, Camp Saver, Steep and Cheap, and there's some others. I have had some good success with getting highly discounted gear on those sites, and I have seen down jackets like this on there. You're just gonna have to look around, hope that you can find your size, and you might not get your first choice on color, but for me, it's worth it to save 50%, $150, something like that. Con number 2 is gonna be the versatility. Being an ultralight down jacket, this jacket is definitely gonna be limited in the versatility department. Now we could dedicate an entire video discussing the pros and cons of down versus synthetic gear, but you definitely do not want to let this jacket become wet and saturated with moisture, whether that be from rain, perspiration from your sweat, or moisture in the air. Once a down jacket becomes wet, it loses most, if not all, of its insulating properties, so it's not going to keep you warm at all. I would definitely never want to hike with this jacket on under a full backpacking load, the straps and the weight. I really don't think that it would hold up to much of that, and I've never wanted to try it for myself to find out. And that really relegates this jacket to an insulating piece for once you make it to camp. As you progress in your backpacking journey, if you start to look to ways to lighten up your pack load, you're going to start to look for pieces of gear that are very versatile and that serve as many different functions as possible. And this jacket is definitely not the best piece of gear for that. There's definitely better options out there when it comes to versatility and multi-function. So who do I think should pick this jacket up? I think anyone who doesn't mind carrying a little extra weight in order to know that once you make it to camp, you're gonna have this really high quality piece of insulating clothing to give you that extra warmth. Maybe if you're someone that knows you run on the colder side and you want to have that extra piece of nice gear once you make it to camp to keep you extra toasty, this jacket is definitely going to help you in that regard. When I first began backpacking, I carried this very jacket right here, and I carried this underneath. This is the Outdoor Research Vigor quarter zip. So I had this, and this is a microgrid fleece. So I had this for when I was hiking, keep me warm, and then once I got to camp, if I needed some more warmth, I'd put this jacket on top. And that system worked very well for me. That is definitely a viable route that you can go. And as I moved on in my backpacking adventures, I eventually moved on to some other systems that shave a little bit of weight from my pack. I think that the jacket also shines as a piece of insulating layering for a colder weather system. I've had this jacket out and down to 20 degrees, a little bit below temperatures as part of a layering system, and I was able to stay warm. You have enough room underneath for 2 to 3 layers, and then you can also put a hard shell over top of this jacket, and that will get you down to about 20 degrees, maybe a little bit lower. And if you already have the jacket anyway, it makes perfect sense. And who do I think might be better off to look at some other options? I think that anyone who is just getting started in their backpacking journey would be better off investing that money into some other areas, such as your backpack, hammock, tarp, quilt, sleeping pad, all the big areas. I think your money's gonna be much better invested into those areas, at least to get started. There's plenty of cheaper alternatives out there. You could look at something like this. This is a Columbia down jacket. Now this is only a 650 fill power, so it's not gonna compress down as small. It's gonna weigh a little bit more, but at right around $100 or less, could definitely be a good option for you here. You could also look into something like this, and this is a military Polar Tech fleece. You can pick these up for around $40 to $50, sometimes still brand new, off of eBay storefronts or your local military surplus store. And this is a full zip, so it's pretty much like a jacket. This thing is very warm, and for the price, it packs down somewhat small. It takes up a decent amount of room, but for the price, you can't beat this thing. And you could also look into something like this. This is the Melanzana microgrid fleece. Now I'm not sure if you can even buy these offline anymore, but there's plenty of companies that make comparable pieces of gear to this in the $60 to $70 range. And this is what I like to use for 3 seasons. If it's gonna stay above 40 degrees, I'll usually bring something like this. It has a hood with a drawstring, can keep you warm around here. And the microgrid fleece is pretty dang warm. It'll definitely keep you warm down into the 40s. And that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got some value from it, give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider doing so and hit the bell notification so that you get notified when I drop new content. And man, it's cold out here. My fingers are going numb. I need to be getting out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.